Hello, I'm the Universal Critic, or as you may call me, Agent Z, or Z, however you pronounce it. Either way, as you can tell by the glasses, my new review is Men in Black 3. But before I get to that, let me just say a few things. One, I wanted to apologize for my last two reviews, The Dictator and Dark Shadows. They were really short. As you can tell, I wasn't really that into it, but I think you can kind of attribute that to the fact that the movies themselves didn't really leave a strong impact on me. If you don't have a strong opinion about something, well, you can't really talk in length or passion about it. But this movie, on the other hand, this review is not going to be anything like this because I love this movie. I had a really good time with it. First of all, I'm not going to compare it to the first two because, well, the Nostalgia Chick already did a whole review on the first two movies. She praised the first one to the nth degree, and she panned the second one to the nth degree, yeah, I kind of agree with her on that one, but you'll have you know this one, unlike the last one, is not just a rehash of the first one. It's a new story. As you can tell from the trailers, it's about Agent K gets erased from history, so Agent J has to go back in time to 1969 to prevent that from happening. And that brings us to the first topic, the time travel thing. The time travel has to be one of the most inventive I've seen in recent years. To do that, Will Smith has to jump off the friggin' Chrysler building. Bet you never seen that in a time travel movie before. Yeah, the movie itself is pretty good, and while back in time, Agent J comes across a young Agent K played by Josh Brolin, who looks exactly like Tommy Lee Jones. I mean, it's friggin' uncanny. The voice, the way he looks, the suit, the attitude, everything just matches up perfectly. And there are a lot of elements in this movie that work. The story is really fun, but there's a lot of things. One of the things I liked about this movie was the stuff that was in the first two that's not in this one, or at least not in it a lot. For example, Frank the Pug, the talking dog from the first two movies, yeah, he's not in this movie at all. Like, there's almost no mention of him at all. Those worm things from the first two movies, they're in there, but they're not in there for very long. Yeah, and one character who's not in there is Agent Zed. Rip Torn's character from the first two movies, yeah, he's not in there at all. In fact, the movie starts off with his funeral. Yeah, well, it's more satisfying than the way they wrote out Agent L, the girl from the first movie who was just completely swept under the rug in the second movie. It's much more satisfying than that, which leads us to a new character in the movie, Agent O, Zed's replacement, played by Emma Thompson, who, by the way, is really, well, it's Emma Thompson. She's always funny. What else do I have to say? But there's a lot of other things I like about this movie, especially the new elements. One is the villain, played by Damien something or other. I don't know. I don't remember what his name is, but he's really creepy. He plays a villain named Boris, who has a grudge against Kay for shooting his arm off. Yeah, he's a fun villain. He's certainly more interesting than Lara Flynn Boyle's character from the second movie. But like I said, this is not about Men in Black 2. It's about Men in Black 3. Anyway, yeah, my favorite character in the movie was a psychic alien named Griffin. I know what you're thinking. A whole telepath thing has been done so many times in science fiction they can't add anything new to it. What they do with it is that the way he approaches his psychic powers, the way he views, the way he can see into all the possible futures. That usually it's like they're very somber and they view their gift as a curse, or they're really like superheroes who use their powers for good. Here he's a very bright and chipper character, but here, and what he said, the way he describes his powers to Agent J and K is like, here I quote is that it says, "My powers are a giant pain in the ass, but they have their moments." I'm not kidding, that's exactly what he says. So yeah, he easily steals the show when he's introduced. So overall, Men in Black 3 is way better than Men in Black 2. Is it as good as the first one? No. But it's still fun and worth checking out. So yeah, check it out. Check it out. Then my advice is check it out, neuralize yourself, and then see it again, just so you get the thrill again. I'm the Universal Critic, aka Agent Z. I talk about whatever I want, whenever I want.